Hi, I'm Anita. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a pair of earrings with some of the beads from our Dollar Bead Box subscription from November of 2024. I'll have links in the description box below that will give you locations of where you can get these items. If you click more below this video, you'll get all the details, including a link to my website. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to be reviewing materials and tools you need for today. First of all, I'm using 6-pound fireline, size 12 beading needle. For tools, you need a pair of flat nose pliers and a pair of scissors. And I've got some 11/0 galvanized gold seed beads, a couple of earring hooks, and a couple of wire guardians. I also have a few 15/0s in galvanized gold, and I've got two 4mm bicone crystals, and I'm also using, I believe these are called bar beads. These came in the Dollar Bead Box along with some 4mm druk beads and a light topaz and some travertine beads. These are 6mm fire polish beads. Those were also from the Dollar Bead Box. So let me clear my area and we'll get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of fireline about 30 inches and I'm going to thread that onto my needle, and I'm going to put a stop bead on here. So I'm going to bring that stop bead down and I'm going to leave about a 6 to 8 inch tail. Bring my needle back through the stop bead like that and pull. Alright, so from here I'm going to pick up one of my bar beads, and you want to check when you have multi-hole beads to make sure none of the holes are blocked. So I'm picking up a bar bead, a 4mm druk bead. I'm going to do that 4 times. So I'm picking up another bar bead, another 4mm druk, a bar bead, a druk, a bar bead, and a druk bead. So that's what you should have on your needle. We're going to pull that down to the stop bead. And now I'm going to bring my needle back through that first bar bead we added. Pull my thread, make a circle. So now I want to reinforce this by going back through all of my beads and make sure that you're going in the same hole of the bar bead that you initially went through. So we're going to reinforce this all the way around. Pull that nice and snug. And we'll keep going through the next 2 beads. It's a little awkward at first because it's kind of loose, but reinforcing this and pull on your tail thread will draw it all together. So I'm going to go through the next 2 beads. And I'm also going to advance through my 4mm druk bead. Pull that all together. Like that. So I want to push these bar beads out so that the empty hole of the bar bead is on the outside. Like that. They're going to move around for a little bit, but that's okay. So from here I'm going to pick up my 6mm travertine bead, and I'm going to bring my needle through the 4mm bead that's directly opposite right here. So I'm coming out of this right side here. I'm going to go in through the right side of the druk bead directly across, like that. And I'm going to pull. And I will place my 6mm bead in the center. Now I'm going to go back through my 6mm bead to anchor this, like that. and I'm going to come back through the 4mm druk bead on the opposite side of where the thread is. So notice that my thread is coming from this direction. I'm going to go in my druk bead this direction. And that will center your 6mm bead. So at this point I'm going to pull my stopper bead off. And now I'm going to advance my thread through the bar bead, that bottom hole. And now I'm going to reverse direction and go through the top hole of my bar bead, like that. So for my next step, I'm going to pick up 7 of my 11/0 seed beads in galvanized gold. I'm exiting this top hole of the bar bead, skipping the 4mm, going into the empty hole of the next bar bead. And I'm going to repeat that. Pick up 7 of my 11/0s, exiting the top hole of the bar bead, skipping the 4mm, and then going into the empty hole of the next bar bead. And I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. Okay, I have my last 7 11/0s in galvanized gold on my needle. I'm exiting this bar bead here, going in through my last bar bead. Pull that nice and snug. So my next step, I'm going to advance my needle through the next 4 11/0s, like that. Now I'm going to pick up 3 of my 11/0s, my 4mm bicone, and 3 more 11/0s, like that. Bring that down. And I'm going to bring my needle back through the bicone, skipping these 11/0s. So I'm coming through the bicone and through the first 11/0 right next to the bicone, like that. Pull that nice and snug. Now I'm going to pick up 2 more 11/0s. And I'm coming out of this 11/0 here. I want to bring my needle through the opposite side of that 4th bead where I started, like that. So when I pull that, that's going to center my little embellishment here at the bottom. Pull that nice and snug. So that's what you should have. Trying to get my camera to focus here. There we go. So from here we're going to advance our thread. Let's pull the tail thread out. I'm going to advance my thread through these next 3 11/0s and my bar bead. I'm going to advance through these next 7, my bar bead, and then I want to get to the middle here, so I'll be coming out of the 4th bead here at the top. So that's where you want your needle coming out of, right there, of that 4th bead at this top section. Pull your thread. Now we're going to put our wire guardian on here, and I'm going to use some 15/0s for that. So with my thread coming out of this 4th bead where the 11/0 is, I'm going to pick up one of my 15/0s in gold, I'm going to pick up my wire guardian, bring that down, I'm going to come back through my wire guardian and pinch that so that the thread goes on the channel correctly. Pick up my other 15/0 and I'm going to go through the 11/0 on the opposite side of where we started, like that. And pull. So that should be what you have. So now I'm going to reinforce this by going back up through the 15/0 and the wire guardian. Come back down through the wire guardian and the 15/0 and make sure your thread goes down that channel. And now I'm going to go back through the 11/0 where I started in that direction and pull. So from here I'm going to advance my thread through these next 3 11/0s and I'm going to tie a half hitch knot right here. Go under your thread bridge, create a small loop, bring your needle through and pull. Advance your needle through the bar bead and your 11/0s, and I'm going to go through these next 3 and do another half hitch knot. Pull nice and snug, and now I'm just going to advance my needle through a few more beads and then I will cut my thread. So I'm going to cut my working thread off right here. And we're going to thread our tail thread on another needle. The easiest way to do that is if you take a flat nose pliers and squeeze the tip of that. That will make it go through your needle a lot easier. So now I'm going to take my tail thread and go through a few of my beads and tie some half hitch knots as well. So I'm coming out of this bar bead at the bottom hole here. I'm going to go through the 4mm and the bar bead. And I'm going to do a half hitch knot right here by going under a thread bridge. Make a small loop, bring your needle back through, and pull. And I'm going to continue to advance my needle through. A few more beads. Do another half hitch knot here. Advance through a few more beads, and then cut your thread off. Very easy pair of earrings to do, and you can experiment by using, if you don't have 4mm rounds, you can certainly do bicones and try different colors. Lots of different options you can try. So now I'm going to put my earring hook on. So what I'm going to do is open my earring hook by pulling this towards me. And I'm going to put my earring on and close my loop nice and snug. So there we have our beautiful pair of bar bead earrings using some of the contents from the dollar bead box. Very easy to make. And these only measured about 1.5 inches in length, so they're not real long. A very casual looking pair of earrings you can wear with a pair of jeans or a nice dress. Very easy to make. Certainly any beginner could make these earrings. So this concludes today's tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you for joining me today. There will be links in the description box below with all of the beads used today in today's tutorial. I also have a website where I sell my own jewelry, so you'll see a link to that as well. If you're not a subscriber, I hope that you do subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you very much for coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate your loyalty. So have a wonderful week, everyone. Happy beading, and I'll see you next time.